Grand Rising, everyone. Grand Rising. I'm not so far up on the screen. I'm not right up on it. But how's everyone doing this early Thursday? I hope everyone is fine. I'm just gonna do a quick little rant about the love of money and respect and protection. I am really appalled at which I don't really mind people having their own opinion because that's fair. Everybody don't have to agree on everything. We don't have to throw out the baby with the bathwater because we don't agree on things. We can look at the big picture. We don't have to, uh you can have your own mind, your own train of thoughts, but it's just amazing how some people think it was okay what Will Smith did, and some people think that it was protection of the black woman. And some people think that it was just like him losing control or maybe mental illness or drug addiction or whatever. I'm not gonna talk about a whole rant about that because I think that's a distraction too. I Some people say it was staged, some say that it was not staged because looking at his body language, it seemed to have been in reaction to, when he laughed and then he looked over at his wife, Jada. But either way, I just think like I feel like I really like him and admire him for a long time. I mean, I grew up looking at the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. He's a little older than me. I grew up admiring him and everything. I even know about how in Hollywood how they have to do certain things to get to certain levels, compromising their soul and spirit and all that. And I know he has a Libra sun. We have a lot of not the same placements but similar. But he has a Libra sun and a Scorpio moon. He has a lot of placements in between Libra and Virgo and Venus, that energy. So I know that energy is like, because I deal with that energy. It's like a lot of times those people are like the sacrifice. They're always making sure everybody is happy. I'm not making any excuse. There's no excuse for walking up on stage and doing that, especially even if it was staged or not. That's not protecting the black woman. Slapping another man or another person or putting your hands on, we don't need that kind of protection. We need protection to that's controlled and thought through, strategically planned at this point with how we are looked at, in the media and worldwide. We need wisdom with our protection, not just emotions and things like that, and trying to prove something and operating in the lower self and the ego. We need strategically planned protection. We also need to protect each other. It's not just the women that need to be protected. We need to protect our men from making stupid decisions as far as being wise women, as we were called, and that's what they call, quote unquote, which is nothing but a wise woman, where we know how to guide that man into making peaceful decisions that will not destroy his reputation and tarnish his legacy, and you know that type of thing. I'm not saying that it's not nobody's fault, because I'm not gonna get into that Adam and Eve, the apple thing, because that goes deeper. Even they took the Lilith out of the Bible or whatever. Blame the woman. It's not anybody's fault. I'm not gonna sit here and blame anybody for. You can't blame anybody for the choices you make. You are held accountable for your own actions. It's not your responsibility to save anyone but yourself. And a lot of times, like I said, with that Libra, Virgo type Venus like energy, it's a lot of one of they people sometimes tend to feel like they can't make it without having a relationship or having a mate, and they'll do whatever they got to do a lot of times, even if they've got a lot. Like, some people so used to money. Some people value love and relationships and having companionship over money. They just don't want to be alone. That's why they keep the money. That's why they get the money. It's a difference between loving money, loving fame, and loving fortune, than needing it, or when then knowing that you not necessarily need it. But that's how they designed this matrix and this system, where you they design it where you gotta have some money or whatever, which we are the money, we're valuable, we're the energy. But I'm saying they got the when money is your God, when money is your God, you really you worship it, you praise it, you just oh hell the money or whatever, when you love money. But some people value relationships and they're like, well, if I'm used to this money, I'm used to this fame, I'm used to this fortune, but it don't make me happy. But this person, I don't know what I would do without them. Like it's so, and you can become codependent or sometimes on toxic relationships just from being used to having someone around. That's not necessarily a good thing, but you just done got so used to having that person around until you don't want to go through rebirth and transformation. You want to go through it with that particular individual, maybe, and that may be the path that you need to take or not. But it's no way you should have to put yourself in certain situations or ruin your time to shine because of you feel like you vibing off of somebody else's energy and feeling guilty. A lot of people done so much stuff until these people be holding stuff over them, and they know that if the public really knew the real deepness of the things they have done, that we probably wouldn't we don't have that kind of unconditional love for people. Because see, if somebody with you and they've been with you for years and they sleeping with you, y'all doing business together, y'all building together, they know things about you that other people don't know. So that person could be that could be your best friend or your worst enemy. You wouldn't want to make that person mad because some of the things they have on you is more intimate and deeper than what the other people that's on the outside. Like they can really destroy you. Like if they really got something on you and you don't, you might not necessarily be wanting to make that person your enemy or anything. I mean, I totally understand that. I think it's a smart move, but at the same time, that's no way to live. That's no, sometimes you gotta be free regardless, but that's easier said than done. Um, I don't like for nobody to hold nothing over my head or be blackmailed or you gonna tell me that, oh, if you don't do this, then I'm gonna tell people this and tell them you did. I'll tell on my damn self or I be held captive and hostage like that. I don't believe in that. I mean, I like to be a free spirit, you know, to a certain point with balance, So when you love money, it's certain things. When you love money, fame, and fortune, you will do anything for it. You don't care who you gotta step on, who you gotta hurt, who you gotta abuse or misuse or whatever. And but when you know you gotta have money, like, and this a lot of people know they gotta have it the way the system build. They value relationships over it. They just keep the money around to keep the people around that they want to be around. And sometimes those are not good people. Mm-mm. Because if you love somebody, it's certain things you ain't gonna let. It's certain things you're not gonna do. Well, let me take that back. It's levels to love. The love that people need a lot of times. People love you, but it may not be the love that you need. It's not gonna hurt you, embarrass you, or do anything that would cause you to be in jeopardy. Depending on what type of love we got for each other, or what type of love you have for them, or what type of love they have for you. They always talk about protect the black woman. Yeah, the black woman should be more protected. I really feel that we are the most unprotected. We are the most abused. We are the most murdered. Think I may be wrong because I ain't really looked at the statistics lately, and sometimes the statistics be off. But yes, black women are being harmed and raped and exploited in the music industry, exploited in media, exploited all over. We've always been the not always. I take that back. I digress. Not always, but within the colonization time period, from that point on, we have always been the objects of exploitation of our bodies and our lips and our breasts and different features and stuff like that. We've been exploited and made money off of and pillaged and raped for a long time now. It ain't always been like that, but it's been going on for a while. And a lot of times when this happens, generation after generation after generation after generation after generation, those traumas are passed down to us as women, men too. Those traumas are passed down to us and we carry them deep within. It affects our daily lives. It affects how we love. It affects how we raise our children. It affects how we deal and correspond with other individuals. It affects everything in our being. Those traumas and generational traumas are passed down. Um, and we form these babies in our wombs. They feel everything that we feel. So we're really like, what are we creating when we have a lot of womb damage spiritually? Not physically, but when you spiritually are wounded and you have a lot of trauma and you carry a baby in that womb. I didn't even mean to get off on this. A lot of times, you that's what you forming down in there, and when it comes out here and you're like, oh, whoa, when you really think about it and you're like, oh, if I known better, I would have done better. What are you gonna do about it now? What are you gonna do about it now? Like, you can't just throw your creation away in the trash can or put it off on somebody else. Or a lot of times you got to work with these creations. And I say creations, I'm talking about these babies that we bring into this world. You can't just say, well, when you get 18 or 20 something, they not ready for, you got to get out and it's not nothing. It ain't going to be, you got to get out and you got to go to college and you got to make, how in the hell are they going to do all that when they don't even have the tools that they need to fight this spiritual warfare? We didn't even know what was going on, a lot of us. So we have to, when you know better, you do better. We have to actually start healing our creations. Because like I said, the baby boomers failed us because they didn't have the true knowledge. We failed our children. So if we waking up now and they're like older, it's not too late. You always a parent. You can always try to fix something. I mean, it's easier to raise strong children than to heal or to change grown men, but it's possible to do that. I mean, love conquers all, unconditional love. When you heal yourself, you heal others. We have to stop talking about we got to protect the black woman. We got to protect the black man too. I ain't sitting up here trying to be get no brownie points or whatever. I really don't care. I'm just speaking truth. It's not right for us to be abusing each other and harming each other and showing hatred towards each other and just being acting like damn fools. Especially age ain't nothing but a number. I learned that a long time ago. Somebody can be 72 and act like they 3. So I don't even I don't even look at the age factor. You got to look at the mindsets and stuff like that. And I've been in a situation where I could have escalated it where it led to violence, like real serious violence, as far as people getting like maybe killed. But I de-escalated that situation. This was a few years ago. It was like it was a really bad situation where you know people were protecting other family members, and I made a decision to be the wise woman and say that, listen, this is not worth taking another life. It's a bad situation, and if we have to protect ourselves, that's one thing. But as far as just popping off of emotions and taking a life, we don't move like that. We don't go and do stuff just off of emotions. And oh, you disrespected me, and you owe me $5, so I gotta get my. Who the fuck gives a shit about repping for all these other streets and all? It's deeper than that. It's some spiritual laws, universal laws. It's the violations and stuff when you step out and you actually decide that you're gonna do certain things. Um, not saying that I can't do it. Some things that you can do, you shouldn't do, not just because you afraid or anything, but just because it's not the wisest choice. Even like women and you want a man to prove you want a man to prove that he love you and all this. There's ways to do that without damaging his character or damaging his reputation or making him look like a fool. And a lot of times these men, they gotta do, some men are humble like that, some women are humble. Women go through that too. It's not a man or a woman thing, because some people don't, some people so jealous and in competition with each other. You gotta do like that to get along with them. You gotta share the spotlight and stuff, but that's not good. But at the same time, we have to be wiser and look at the big pictures. We are judged collectively. Like just because I got a good children or I got my shit together. It don't mean that the universe gonna look at it like, oh, just me. We look at it as a collective. We gotta heal each other. We gotta reach one, teach one. We gotta start loving each other and respecting and protecting each other. It's not just about protecting us. We gotta protect them too. They gotta protect the children. We gotta protect each other. And when I talk about protection, I'm not talking about we getting out here and fighting for the men and all this. That I'm talking about using that feminine energy, that wisdom to keep and maintain the balance without causing a lot of damage to our communities that we as we already have done, and allowed people to brainwash us to harm and hate each other and be all about respect and all this gangster shit that we wasn't like that before the Italians and stuff and Jews came over here. They were the bootleggers, they were the pimps, they the one taught us how to do that. We won't doing none of that shit. They had to do it because they wasn't accepted in society as being white people. So y'all, you need to go within and figure out who you are. You are not no damn gangster. You are not no thug. None of that. That's what has been exploited upon you, like these other titles that you answer to. It ain't what they call you, it's what you answer to. We should all go inside, figure out who we are, and get our stuff together because this don't make no sense. Like we should not be this far behind at this point where we all thinking that it's okay for somebody to walk on stage and slap a man. Now, I do admit that G.I. Jane joke was a little out there, but because Ashton Kutcher was messing with Demi Moore and cheating on her husband, and then she also had short hair, so it was kind of a kill the birds uh with one stone type of joke. But at the same time, that's what you expect from a comedian. I'm not saying he was right or wrong. He a comedian, and when you go out to places like that, that's what comedians do. You know what I'm saying? Like they said, you a public figure. I don't always agree with everything these content creators say, but this here, I'm with the guys on this. I'm with the guys on this. The ones that's talking about, it's about respecting a black man and how this made them look bad. It made them look bad. They talk about they get up here and talk about how bad. I've been saying this. They get up here and say how messed up the women is, the black women and stuff like that. And I do agree with some of them. It for us as black. Anyway, I'm indigenous, which I'm gonna start saying that altogether. Which I don't say indigenous or people used to make me feel bad about saying that I was Cherokee. What my grandmother taught me, and that I was indigenous to the land because they'd be like, "Oh, you don't want to be black, blah blah blah." That ain't even what we are anyway. That ain't even a word. But anyway, I do say that quote unquote black because black, white, all that that's been programmed and indoctrinated into our mindsets for a long. But I'm trying to do better. Anyway, getting back to my thought. These men get around for the longest. I've been noticing, like, for a long time, even when I was like a preteen, how they gossip and talk and throw each other under the bus. Like, you notice how when a man like get into it with another man, it ends violently, like most of the times, or it's always like a lot of it. Are they worse than us? I don't know. They might be neck and neck with a lot of the low vibrating women. They might be neck and neck because these men, y'all need to get it together. I know we need to get our stuff together. But women, y'all, if that's the case, then we need to go ahead and ascend and rise and heal so we can help heal and restore these men. But this is sad. This is sad. I know I know Martin Luther King and Malcolm X turned over in their grave. I don't sign on to all some of the stuff with begging for the eat at restaurants where people don't like you and stuff so they can spit in your food and shit. And begging to be on buses and stuff and begging to go to school. I don't sign up for that, but he did a lot of good stuff, when you're looking at like I try to look at the big picture. He did some good things, but I don't really never agree with integration. I think he was right, when he said that he sent us to a burning house because when we were integrated with other societies and stuff and left our own group of people where we had pride and well, I remember my uncle, may he rest in power, my uncle Head telling me about how he felt when he was going to an all black school and how much pride the man had and how the teachers made him feel empowered, where he could look up and see teachers that looked like him and how that made him feel like he could accomplish anything. And I'm telling you, my uncle is from a small town in the South, and my uncle done travel everywhere. I mean, he done been to Howard University. He worked at, he been to ECU, worked at the Smithsonian Institute. So many stories he's told me. And music wise, I mean, the man sound by like Stevie Wonder mixed with Luther Vandross and Al Green. And my stepdad sing like that too. They always taught me how to sing and had groups and stuff. He was sung up in New York with Donnie, who is it? Lila Hathaway father. My dad, the one that raised me, my stepdad. Donnie Hath. So I mean, I used to go back and forth. So, and I'm into music too heavy, a little different, grateful for the experience I had. But my uncle would always tell me like it was amazing how that gave them so much pride being able to look up and see that they had a black band, and they had their teachers and stuff like that. And it don't take a lot, but when you got support and community and the family structure and unity and that love like they had back then, man, you can do anything. You don't need a lot. You got each other. It's a lot. It's power in numbers and not just numbers. People that actually pull together. We gotta get back to the old ways. We gotta go back because we done lost our identity. A lot of us we done lost our identity, honey. We lost our who is it? Oh, okay. Happy birthday. Okay. Yeah, we lost our identity. Somebody' birthday just popped up on it. But happy birthday to all of my Aries in this Aries season. Aries, oh, the god of fire, war. Aries. I got Aries. I got Aries placements in my chart. And that's my opposite polarity, which you don't just look at your sun sign, you look at all your other aspects of your moon. But that's why I be liking on fire. I be liking that fire. Anyway, um, we lost it. We gotta get it back. We gotta go back inside. That's where it said we gotta go back to our first love, man. We gotta go back to be like it's a way to do everything, y'all. Like y'all know this. I ain't judging nobody. I got unconditional love for everybody, but I can't rock with that. That's protecting the black woman. I don't care what nobody say. That's not protecting us. Y'all guys, we got women that do not believe that that's some bull. We believe that's some straight up bullshit. And I'm not trying to say this to get no brownie point with no men or whatever, because I call a spade a spade. I'm just like that. I'm not for, oh, I'm on the women's side and the black woman syndrome that the manosphere say. Well, the black woman can do anything she wants to, big mama. She can eat pork chops and get high blood pressure and talk to them, emasculate the men and all this and that, and don't know and cause the black male to hate the black woman, where he always talking about he don't want no black woman because of what he seen from his grandmama, his mama, the women around him, his aunts and sisters and all that, where they got that hate, that hurt. It's really hurt though. It's not necessarily hate. We have hurt these. It's time to heal and take accountability. We have hurt these children. I know I've been hurt. Hurt people hurt people. They done seen some things and experienced some things, and they can't come to us and tell us not jack shit because we are. "Oh, I'm the black woman. I, I'm the mother. It's Mother's Day. Let us praise me." Listen, it's nothing wrong with honoring you and lifting you up and all this and that. I venerate my ancestors and all that. I got much respect. But honey, when your ass out of line, it's time to go somewhere and sit your ass down and get your act together. I don't give a damn how old you is. I don't give a damn how much education you got. I don't give a damn how much money you got. I don't give a damn if you the matriarch of the family and all this and that. Look in the mirror. It's time to look at a man in the mirror. It's time out for that damn, oh, I can't say this to mama. Cause mama, mama might, mama. Look, respect. Black people got the definition for respect all fucked up. Y'all need to throw that my whatever definition most of y'all have about respect. It ain't right. I'm telling you, I've been done seeing this a long time ago, and I said I've been done. I have seen this already, observed this a long time ago about how we as a people, the indigenous people, the Jesse Jackson name African Americans, and what's his name? Black and I'm proud. We don't had so many damn name colors. We done had so many damn names. They don't make why they keep Yeah, why do they keep changing our fucking names like that? You know why, don't you? They don't know what to call you because they know who you are anyway. So why do we actually want to who do you respect? Should you does everybody deserve the type of respect where you can't tell them the truth? Is that really helping? Like, because I'm a certain age and I do something wrong, and I got a certain position in the family or on a job, or I'm a famous person or whatever. You can't tell me when I'm wrong. So it's nobody to check the uncheckable, but the universe, the great mother, the father, the son, and the daughter. So we just all need to do a self check on ourselves. To figure out, like, do I owe somebody an apology? Like, do I need to get out of my ego with these people? Like, did I do something wrong to these children, or did I harm? Did I really cause these people? Did I actually not shoot the gun? Did I help load it? Did I cause this person to feel this way in their lifetime? Like when they was a kid, did I do something to cause them to be like they don't want to deal with certain people because of how they've been treated and harmed and hurt? Can I go back now and can I fix it or try to heal it? Healing your creation. I mean, when you doing that, you can't be out here living a single life and oh, it's all about me, and I don't raise them children, and it's time for me to let my hair down there and live. You ain't got time for that because you doing damage control. You fixing your creation. You ain't gonna have time because that's gonna distract you. That's your empire. That's your empire that you created. That's your create. Even the men. Y'all let these women and stuff distract y'all from y'all children and y'all responsibility, but that's your legacy. When you go off with another family, it ain't nothing wrong with moving on. It ain't nothing wrong because people can't. It's nothing lasts forever, and maybe that's your time is up. Y'all could still be friends though and co-parent. That's your legacy. I'm not gonna make nothing and create nothing. I just be like, oh, nah, fuck it. That's a mentally ill. That's demon possession and mentally illness, right? Mental illness, right there. You gonna check on it and kind of nurture it to grow. You still got, man. You might can't do it like you did it when you were right there in the house watering your plant, but you're gonna try to check on that plant as much as you possibly can under your circumstances. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with moving on. Ain't nothing wrong with following and going, meeting you somebody that match with you and y'all can build and work together. But just forgetting about you're gonna need that one day. And if you ain't been watering that plant and all this and that, and they don't have to get water from other sources and food, what is it, plant food and they not gonna want nobody gonna hate you, but you can understand that nobody not gonna want to be bothered with you. Because I know me, I mean, my stepdad pretty much when he came along, he raised me. My real dad, I don't, he was basically chasing women and doing what he wanted to do. And he, turned around and was blaming my mother, like, oh, your mom wouldn't let me be with you. But I was like, when I got grown, she had no control over that type of thing. Like you call me when you in need, but as far as like when you doing good and you up, you dealing with them people, you know what I'm saying, that you dealing with a scraggly waggler people. You calling me when you like, oh, I'm in the hospital, or daughter, I mean my wife, this and that and all. Don't call me when it's up. My stepdad will call me whether he got it or not. He's like, well, if I ain't got it, I'll find a way, or we help each other, or like, you good? You want me to do this for you or the kid? This is my stepdad, but I get it confused sometimes because I'll be damn. I be favoring him. They said somebody feed you long enough, you start looking. I be thinking that's my dad. I be like, damn, he might have been my dad. This might be a test for me and him. But that might have been my dad in the past life. Cause I mean, I love him. Like I just know he got a good heart. I'm like, man, you tough. Like you tough for you to take. My stepdad, I ain't put him on no pedestal because he done made plenty of mistakes. We all ain't nobody perfect. Ain't nobody perfect, but look, I'm gonna give him credit where credit is due. I got to. I'm being real. These women in the South is tough. They done been through hell, so they not easy to deal with. For a man to come from up north and stay around just stuff, that man tough. Cause I wouldn't have did it. Lord knows, he always said, "But you been trying to get away since you since you came." You damn right. I be like, I don't know how you deal with these women because I can't do it, bro. Like I can't. I don't even want to be that man. I don't even want to be that tough, that masculine. That stuff. Fuck that. I want some help. I want a helpmate. Fuck that. If I gotta go somewhere and sit down and be quiet. Because I was real quiet till I met my husband, then I started talking a little more, but I was real shy and quiet. But look, I tell my dad, my style, I was like, man, you a tough cookie. Cause I would have went AWOL on these bitches a long time ago. Which he got, like I said, he ain't perfect. He lived up north and he said he they wanted to draft him to go to the Vietnam War. My stepdad said he started drinking from that Wednesday on up to that Monday or Tuesday when he had to go in to see the man about the draft. He said when he got in there, that man took his blood pressure. That man said, "Mr. Green, you just miss. You just miss. Go on home." I said, "You a crazy man." He said, "Hey, I want about to go. I want about to go do." He didn't go. He didn't go. They did act like he was crazy. He didn't go. He showed it. He said, but they group broke up and stuff because most of the guys that was in that group, they was singing. They had to go to fight, and because they had a draft back then during the Vietnam War. My dad was over there. My biological father went over there and fought for a while. So he has that what post traumatic. That stuff ain't no joke. I thank him for his service, but at the same time, they expose those guys to so much Asian orange and ooh, listen to that wind, Mama Oya, and so many different Ashe, so many different experiments until y'all they passed that down in their genes too. They passed it down and stuff, and like I've taken care of him a couple of times, and that's it's and regardless, I'll have unconditional love for people, but that shit, it's wild. Like I could write a book about it. I mean, it's wild, but like I said, we gotta learn to protect each other, have unconditional love, and it ain't just about protecting the black woman, black. It's about us protecting each other, having wisdom and moving strategically and having unconditional love and unity, and not getting in that ego and showing out and trying to prove, that we this and that and the other. You know what I'm saying? Have balance or whatever. And I commend brother because he done held it down for a lot. That man been sacrificing for a long time. It ain't no telling what he had to do to get where he at. You know what I'm saying? It's no telling what he had to do, what he had to go through. We don't know. Jada probably know, but at the same time, I pray for his soul and his healing. I hope it's not mental illness. If it is, I pray for his healing. If it's drugs, I pray that he recover from whatever. And it could have been he just got tired of being, just sacrificing, being picked on because he got a North Node in Aries, and he got Aries and Chiron, so that's a lot of deep. That's a lot of deep hurt, right? That's another story right there. But yeah, I just wanted to go over like what is protection, the love of money, and respect. We got it all mixed up in our culture about respect. Respect ain't that somebody step on your shoe or whatever. You go and do violence. Violence beget violence. Like I said, I was in a situation a few years ago where I had to choose between do I want to do to protect my family, but I decided that if the person if it don't come right at us, then I won't go there unless I got to for self defense purposes. But just to go out off of my emotions and what just for somebody um saying something or disrespect. Actually, it was that where they disrespected the black woman, which was me and my child, and my sons could have got involved and they they not they really was gonna but I had to calm the situation down myself. If I had a been boosting it up, it would have went where them kids would have probably ended up getting a serious charge. Very, very, very serious. But I decided to look at the bigger picture. It won't worth it. So that's what we have to do. We have to be wise women, and we have to not only be protected, but we have to protect them too. We have to protect them from messing up their lives and making stupid decisions and falling into traps that are set up. And all this respect. And look, we got all this respect stuff. Like I said, we got the definition all wrong. We have to look at the bigger picture. and we have to have unconditional love and compassion. That's not saying you have to be a floor man and lay down and let people run over you, but you have to love people even in their imperfections, even when they make mistakes. You have to have love and compassion towards all and not show partiality. It's not just some black women that need to be protected. It's all. It's not just some black men that need to protect. It's all. They hadn't a lot of them hadn't had any guidance from mothers. Those mothers were all failed them. A lot of their mothers failed them because the mothers wasn't given the right tools and information. They didn't know what was going on when they was carrying those children, and the girls too, they was forming them in the womb of a damaged womb. That's yeah, that's a whole nother story right there where we got to talk about. But we got to heal our creations. We won't right when we were carrying them. Y'all know we won't. They put us in all these situations where we had to deal with the breakdown of the black community, the breakdown of the black family. Even if you was married, you couldn't be healthy. You couldn't have a healthy marriage in an unhealthy community. Like if I'm sitting up here married and all the women in my community ain't got no damn man, you think I'm safe? You think my marriage safe? I'm the only one married. The rest of them out here like, oh, look at that bitch. She thinks she better than us. That ain't gonna. I didn't know that shit back then. I know that, but I know better than them. I was like, I'm not about to bring no damn vitamin D around a bunch of thirsty ass motherfucking bitches. I don't give a damn what y'all say about my car. I learned my lesson. Nope. I'll go where it's at. No, we might have separate. Nah, especially if it's not a strong-minded individual, because the women are doing what they're supposed to be doing because it's survival of the fittest. Like they looking at you like, oh, this bitch thinks she gonna have a perfect relationship around me, and I'm sitting here Pookie and Ray Ray kicking my ass, and I can't even get $5. That's how That's how low vibrating people think. Y'all better. What affects you affects me. What affects me affects you. This is what I did not used to do. I strengthened my weaknesses. I used to be in my own little world, thinking it's all about me and I'm good and da 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 da. My family good. No, it's about the collective. What affects you affects me. What affects me affects you. That's why I've chosen the path to turn the material into spiritual, because I was a very superficial, materialistic person. Yes, I was. Like, I wasn't that deep. I mean, no. But I had to go into my North Node and turn into spiritual, the material into spiritual, and the personal into universal. I had the looks down pat. I had all the things yeah, but other than that, I ain't going too deep. I got it now. I'm going deep. I'm digging in now. Yeah, I'm getting to that Scorpio energy. That damn right. So yeah, everybody changed. Don't nobody supposed to stay the same. You don't supposed to stay stagnant like that. You don't supposed to you supposed to change or whatever. But like I said, turning the material into the spiritual and the personal into universal. If you can't have no healthy relationship in no unhealthy community. Everybody else fucked all up, but you think your shit. And like I said, I don't blame her. I didn't know. If I known better, I'd have done better. I didn't know this back in the day. I didn't know that. Like, I learned. You live and you learn. So no, thank you. Uh, there's a certain type of people you can deal with in a community. They leaders and they strong like that. But most of these people minds is weak. They thinking like, oh, this woman trying to holler at me because she really like me. They not understanding that a lot of times it's because they vibing off the vibe of that other woman. They really attracted to that woman's energy that's all over you. Not saying that you mince chopped liver or mince meat. I'm just saying that woman's energy, that feminine energy is what fused. Because I had this guy that I was talking to or whatever, and we dated for a long time. And he was like, whenever I'm around you and I go out around women, it's like they just go crazy over me. And I think that's why he stayed with me so long too. Because he said I brought him good money in it. Like he's like, I go out a day and do he had like his own business or whatever, like a landscaping business and stuff like that. Triangle. So he's like, when I go out, they just be crazy and money just come. I said, oh, I'm the lucky rabbit, baby. I'm the lucky. And he really, and I believed him. He was serious. Like he wasn't joking. He was like, Whenever I'm around you and I go out around these women, it's like they just drawn to me. And also, it's like that money energy just comes. And that's true. A lot of times these women are attracted or the men are attracted to these women because of that man energy or because of that. It ain't necessarily you, it's that energy that you bouncing off of that other person. You know, you gotta be careful who you give your energy to. That's all I'm saying. Cause they might be using it to they might be draining you and using it to benefit because that energy is powerful. Trying to tell you. You can be you can be with somebody and you can be they can be you be thinking like, oh, they got it going on. And it be that person the whole time. They the sun that's shining through that person, and you don't even see that person. You just see that energy they exhibit and see I'm going deep now. But y'all remember y'all gotta rethink and reprogram and reboot your definition of respect and protection and all this and that. Protection of the black woman. And the love of money, man. The love, it ain't money. Money ain't evil. It's when people worship it as a god. And you got people in these churches and religions and stuff. That's who they got. A lot of people they got is money and they ain't even got the shit. And they worshiping it. A motherfucker that got it know that that shit don't bring happiness because they ain't happy. Them billionaires and stuff, they not happy. Hmm. They get bored all the time. So that's all they do. They figure out ways to create new ways to make more money and invent new shit and then wonder like, do I have any real friends around me? You know, do people really love me? I mean, do they love? That's how I was. I ain't saying I had in this lifetime I ever had a billion, which I'm wealthy. And I'm not talking about wealthy as far as I got money in the bank or I got money. I'm wealthy because of the wealth of my spirit and all this and that. You know, I'm just well. I always looked at myself even when I didn't have a dime, even when I was, when I never gave up. You know, even when I had thoughts of doing things because I felt like, oh, this is not fair. Nobody loves me. I don't know. I just pop back up, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful to the cosmic royal family. I'm grateful to the great mother. I'm grateful to the righteous father. I'm grateful to the son, to the daughter, to the archangels, to the spirit guides, Ashe, to the ancestors that love me unconditionally and are guiding me and protecting me, and are my ride or die ancestors, Ashe. Ashe. Oh, and the 16 prophets, Ashe. But I'm about to get off. Yep, I'm about to sign off and everything. Y'all have a wonderful Thursday. You see these storms. If it, it may be. I don't. Maybe it's not weather control or heart. Maybe it is Mama Oya. I have to. It seems to be real. I have to tap in. I gotta tap in and go online to. But it seems like some energy of the Oya, Mama Oya energy, Ashe. So everybody, protection to you, unconditional love. Like, subscribe, and share. And don't forget to support our organization, Maya Symbol of Healing and Unconditional Love. We will be doing some things in the community again soon. The other one was a success. The other ones with the nest was a success. I will be giving updates. And we are expanding. We have some websites and stuff coming, some online things and merch, and oh man, just I'm going through a move right now, a transition. So I'm expanding and rebirth and transformation. It's just getting better with time. And I thank y'all all for your support, and I send you unconditional love, protection, healing, and abundance to you. You be blessed. All right, this is Moon Goddess 777 signing off.